Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And before I get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone because we surpassed the 1800 subscriber mark. So a huge thank you to everyone. I couldn't have done without you. It's amazing. And I'm still mind blown that we've made it this far and that you guys are still supporting me. So in deciding what I wanted to do for the 1800 subscriber special, so you know what, let's get a bit more personal. So I've decided I'm going to be showing you guys the music I actually listen to outside of YouTube and doing videos and streaming, with some being quite similar to what I react to and review, and others just completely out of left field. But that's me. But anyway, we're going to jump right in. So give this video a like and of course subscribe to keep up to date and join the community. So to start, we have Distant Pixels by Subnuba. So lately I've been getting back into tech death, and this is one of the albums that I've been listening to. This got recommended to me by my girlfriend, and it is an absolute joy to listen to. But what's really cool is it's quite diverse in its writing, with it being more melodic at times, a bit more atmospheric, and just overall going a bit more outside the box than your generic tech death bands. Of course, it has its technical sides, but it also has a lot more going for it. And I'd highly recommend you go and check these guys out. They are grossly under listened to. I think it's only like 77 monthly listeners. So do yourself a favor and do them a favor. Go check them out. They're a great band, Subnuba. So sticking to the tech death scene, I'm going back in time a bit and looking at the album The Flesh Prevails by the band Fallujah. Fallujah was one of the first tech death bands I ever got into back in the day, and I've been sort of revisiting them, and my god, this album is goddamn amazing. If you're into technical death metal, you have to go check this one out. Like with the previous track, it is atmospheric, it is mind-blowing, and it has this ethereal, spacey feel to it that I haven't heard in many tech death bands. It is gorgeous, it's lush, so many beautiful melodic moments, as well as really cool technical endeavors from the band. Drumming is fast-paced and so goddamn over the top, and it's got classic tracks such as Carved from Stone and Sapphire. You can't go wrong with this album, and as much as Fallujah has changed the sound a bit with their latest release, I always still like going back to this one and just having a blast with it. So yeah, The Flesh Prevails by Fallujah. Next, we see ourselves deviating a bit and looking at a bit more of a avant-garde band, and that is Cryptadera, a band I've talked about before, and I even gave The Angel of History, which is the album I'm going to be talking about, album of the year last year. So this album in a nutshell is probably one of the most dynamic albums I've listened to. It is heavy, it is calming. It has moments where it goes full on Converge and Dillinger Escape Plan, but then it has moments as well where it can sound like an indie project and something a bit more intimate and quiet, and it just makes it sound nice. It is so dynamic. In fact, I'd say calling it dynamic is a bit of an understatement. And the features on it just add to it as well. There's lush moments, and what I really dug about this album as well, and including the band themselves, is the incorporation of philosophy into their theme, which I love philosophy, I love Greek literature and Greek mythology, so yeah, this is a win for me. And it can be a win for you as well, so go check them out. They're a great band. Now, deviating completely outside of the world of metal, we are looking into trip hop, and this album is kind of a legendary album. It has some legendary songs, and that is Mezzanine by Massive Attack. This is a Bristol duo, and if you don't know about this band, okay, you gotta do yourself a favor, just go listen to it. You need to listen to it. This is legendary, this album. It's got the rhino beetle on the front, you gotta know this. But pretty much this is an hour-long journey that goes into some really weird avenues. It's definitely a slower thing to listen to, but it's very interesting in its writing style. Every track has its own unique take to it, and all the guest singers are all amazing. It has legendary tracks as Teardrop, Black Milk, Inertia Creeps Angel, that, you know, just harken back to those good old days of like trip hop, and it is so weird and creepy, so ambient, so much vibe going to it. And the fact that it's from 98 and even today it still sounds just as good is testament to the band themselves. So yeah, this was a complete out there pick, but I do love some stuff that are non-metal as well. So yeah, go check that out. Mezzanine, Massive Attack. So the next one is an album I've been mainly using for the gym lately, and that is Darko, the self-titled album from Darko US. This is the combined forces of Tom Barber from Chelsea Grin and Josh Miller, I think, from Emure, and it is intense and it is fucking mind-blowing. It has probably some of the heaviest stuff out there at the moment, and if you want to hear my full thoughts on it, I did do a review for it, so go check that out. But all I can say is it is intense, it's fast, it's sometimes emotional, but overall it is a very in-your-face album. So yeah, go check out my review if you want to see my full thoughts on it. Now, coming close to the end, I have to talk about another album that I've re-listened to, and it sort of made me love the band all over again. And that is the album Alien by Northlane. This to me is a perfect album. I can't say anything bad about it. It is such a different take on metal, but it works so well. To give some context, this album talks about frontman Marcus's troubled childhood, and he goes into it with full force. He is not holding anything back, and it really shows in his performance. Previous album, Mesmer, you can kind of see that with Marcus, but there's definitely a sense that, he's doing his job. He's not pushing himself to the limit. It feels kind of like, you just did your contractual obligations and nothing more. While here, the shift is insane and the quality is tenfold. Where Marcus is digging deep, he's getting angrier, he's getting frustrated, and it really is conveyed. And on top of that, the rest of the band is doing such a great job of locking in and being a unit and giving all the lyricism and vocal performance weight to it. And it is just an overall album. It is an amazing album. You need to go check it out. It's almost a perfect album to me in some senses. And yeah, I can't stop listening to it even today. And finally, we have the album Sound Awake by Karnivool, another one that I consider to be absolute perfection. This is prog at its finest, and for me, it's the Tool album that should have been after 10,000 Days. It has all the elements that Tool had, but it does a bit more because it adds those Australian elements because that's where the band is from, to it, and it sounds so good. The drums and the bass are so well locked in because actually, fun fact, the drums and the bass were recorded live. I was watching a Rick Beato video and he said that if you actually solo the bass track, you can hear the drums in that track as well. So yeah, this is so well done. It also introduces us to some of the best bass tones in the world. Bass tones that have been mimicked to death at this point, and a company like Dark has tried to emulate as well with pedals such as Alpha Omega, which was based off the tone from Karnivool. Every track on this has its own moment of glory to shine. Simple Boy being a great track, Goliath, amazing track with that intro, and A New Day, just to name a few. But overall, this is another great album that I've been listening to. If you haven't checked it out, you need to. Yeah, that's about it. But anyway, write down below, what did you think of the picks and what have you been listening to recently? And besides that, I just want to give another huge shout out to everybody who's been subscribing and supporting the channel. It really means a lot and it makes it all worthwhile. But besides that, thank you again so much. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and of course subscribe to keep up to date on all the content because there's a lot of good content coming out. And besides that, I will see you guys in the next video.